Happening, fellas, we're here at the 100th annual Laconia Bike Week at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Just got the rig and I are here for the week. We got the Harley Davidson set up right there and the hill climber in the back. Tomorrow we're going to the vintage hill climb. Really excited to be here. In our last video, I asked you guys to think about, I want you to write this down, so pause the video if you can and write down the 3 things you like to do the most. And then also write down the 3 people you love the most. For me, it's easy. Well, actually, I'll name off 4. My 3 kids, Taylor, Jordan, and Kenny. And of course, my honey, Christy. So, and the things I love the most, I love camping, and I love riding my Harley, and I love racing my dirt bike. And guess what? I'm doing all 3 of those things this week. Why? Because it's later than you think, man. Life goes by really quick. I've used the tape measure as a metaphor. That's 78 inches, or 6'6". That's the average lifespan of 78 years. Not so much in my family. My dad died a year later than me, so if I lived as long as him, this could be my last trip to Laconia. I don't plan on dying anytime soon. My mom lived to 61, so maybe I got a couple more years if I live as long as her. But you know, I hope I lived at least the average life expectancy 78 years. That'll give me 20 years, and it sounds like a long time. Do I have 20 more years to go to Laconia Bike Week? No. The event's only run 20 times, so if everything goes well, I can only come here 20 more times. How many more hill climbs will I get to run at 58? That's the other thing. You might live to be 78, but are you going to be healthy enough to do the things you love to do? Right now, I still am, through the grace of God. You know, I went and got my CDL, so one of my life dreams, so I could drive this tractor trailer, and also my Kenworth with the stacker for the business. And I'm having a lot of fun doing the things I love to do, and I make it a priority to do these things. I put these things down in a planner, and I plan on being at Daytona for Bike Week, to be at Laconia for Bike Week, and to be at Americade for Bike Week. I write it down in my planner, and I work my ass off, and I make sure I come here and do these things. Because at the end of your life, when you look back, and if you've been working your ass off and you saved a bunch of money, you can't take it with you. And if your work resume looks really good, but your life resume sucks and you didn't do the things you love to do with the people you love to do the most, then what did you accomplish? You kind of missed the point. So grab a piece of paper and write down, and get a planner like the one I have, and pick some dates to do the things that you want to do that are going to make you happy, because life goes by quick and nothing's guaranteed. Except you're going to die. Nobody gets out alive. So while you're here, live. Do the things you love to do. On the daily, if you can. I'm blessed to have a career that I love, working in the motorcycle industry, shooting all the videos and the bikes we restore and going out on pics. I absolutely love what I'm doing. If you're in a dead-end job that you hate, well, make your exit plan. Figure out how to get out of debt so you don't have to work there anymore. Dave Ramsey, check out his channel. If you're in debt, the Dave Ramsey Financial Mastery course, you can figure out how to get out of debt and live within your means, so you have the time and money to do the things that you love to do. So I'm here with Christy, and my oldest daughter Taylor's coming here tomorrow night. She's going to come to the hill climbs with us, which would be a lot of fun. Something we've done as a child. I used to take her to Daytona all the time, in Laconia. She's been to Daytona every year since she was born. She's never missed one. The first 16 or 17 were with me, and then after that she'd go on her own. But I'm going to be here with 2 of my most favorite people, creating memories, good memories. How many times a year do you get to do these kinds of fun things with the people you love the most? And if you got 20 years left, like I'm supposed to, that doesn't mean I'm going to have 20 years with Taylor, Jordan, Kenny, and Christy. That means if I'm lucky, we'll go to Daytona 20 more times. We'll go to Laconia. We'll go to Americade. We'll go to hill climbs. And we'll do these things that we love to do all the time. But it goes fast. It seems like the older I get, the faster it's going. Like a time warp. That's what I tell all my friends and my kids. Do the things you love to do. And I ask you to write down those 3 things that are most important to you, that you like to do the most. And now I want you to ask yourself, honestly, how much of it you've been doing. And if you've been doing it a lot, I'll bet your happiness is pretty high. If you're not doing it for whatever reason, whatever excuses or issues are in the way that are stopping you, I'll bet your happiness meter is not bouncing off the rev limiter, because it's important that we do the things that we love to do. as often as possible. And if you get to share it with the people you love the most, like I do, that's an added bonus. It's a blessing. I suggested you get a planner, and this is what I do. I write down the events first, the big events I want to go to. I got a Marrakech here, and my schedule is pretty full. I got Laconia here, Bike Week. I've got the Gunstock Hill Climb I'm going to do Wednesday. And I also track the hours. I just started doing that recently, how many hours I'm working. And I worked 63 hours one week. Last week I worked 75. And then the previous 2 weeks I worked 84 and 86.5 hours. And I added that up. It's 309 hours in 4 weeks. That's a total of average of 77 hours a week. If you divide 309 by 40, the average hours that people work, that's 7.7 weeks I worked in the last 4 weeks. So in order to pack a lot into life, to be able to go to Americade and Laconia, I ponied up and put my time in. And for me, the blessing is this is kind of like my job. I'm going to be here videoing. I'll probably have 20 videos from this event in Laconia to share with you guys. And I'll be racing and promoting the company everywhere I go, and everything we're doing. But you want to write things down in a planner, things that motivate you. So when you're going through the tough times and you're having trouble getting out of bed, or you don't want to put in the extra effort at work, you know, hey, I'm going to Daytona in a couple months. I'm going to Americade. I'm going to Laconia. I'm going to reward myself with whatever it is that makes you happy. Set some big goals. Junior just, he's out in Washington State on the other side of the country. One of his life goals was to compete in the Boston Marathon, and he just did the Washington Marathon 26 miles in under 3 hours, set like a 7-minute 30-second per mile pace for 26 miles and qualified for the Boston Marathon. So set big goals and figure out how to make them happen. Also write like important appointments in there, like my dentist appointment or whatever. But this is actually someone else's project plan. This is Billy Ainsworth's project plan to do the nationals that he wrote and shared with me. It's important to have plans. Here's a plan for the mini truck we're building to go inside the stacker. I've got another folder here with plans for the 53-foot race team trailer. And I've got another folder with plans on the Kenworth that we're almost done going through. So write down your plans. They say that you're 80% more likely to accomplish your goals and to get things done if you write it down. You're much more likely to remember and set your compass in that direction and get it done. The other things I've done, like working that many hours and not being productive would be a total waste of time. So I start off every day with a project plan, and usually it fills up the whole page. This was what was left after, I cross things off, but I write everything down. And I've taught Kyle how to do that, and Junior and everybody else on the team. So we're usually working on anywhere between, well, right now I've got about 110 motorcycles in production right now. This is actually the inventory sheet right here, but one of 3 pages. So we write everything down so you can remember it. When you got a lot of goals, there's a lot of moving components, and it's easy to remember it if you write it all down. Write down your big goals, your weekly, monthly, yearly goals, and then put your daily stuff on one page here. I promise you'll be much more productive. I also write down on the left-hand corner my bigger goals. This one says the T800. That's the race rig. I'm building a barn at the compound, a big barn, like a 50 by 100. Selling my F450 and getting a new black one, so it'll match the big rig, and then also the mini truck project. So like 4, what most people consider pretty big life move projects I've got written down, and got to go get a new set of glasses. I write that down. I write stuff down so I remember to do it. And if I don't do it on today's plan, I just write it on. I immediately carry that over to tomorrow's plan. Then I put all the monthly stuff on the monthly planner. Like this is a list of assets I have to sell, vehicles and trailers, and that it adds up to $97,000. So there's set goals and get them done. So no matter how many years you got left, and none of us really know how many years you got left on this planet. But take advantage of it and do the things you love to do with the people you love the most.
That's my honey there.
And make it a priority. Get out there and do it. Don't wait another day. If you're older than me or old like me, well, time's running out. Get out and do it. If you're young, set your life up around the things you love to do and do it all the time with the people you love to do it with. Make it your mission statement. Don't worry so much about saving money, because money comes and goes. Don't worry about material possessions. as much. Do the things you love to do, and somehow, if you can make it your career, I highly recommend it. And it's not about having the most expensive bike or a big camper like this. I mean, we had a little pop-top camper that Chrissy and I started camping with a few years ago that I bought for like $7,000, and we loved that thing. And the only reason we upgraded to the Featherlight is Uncle Dale gave us a deal we couldn't refuse on it, and we sold our pop-top. And then this big rig happened when we started living in Florida for 2 months every winter. So, you know, get yourself a camper, get yourself a pup tent like those guys over there. I spent my years in pup tents, these events, and it doesn't matter how you get here, but get here. It doesn't matter how expensive your bike is. One of my favorite bikes is my KLR 650 that I bought from a friend of mine. It's almost free, and we fixed it up, and I love that thing. So just get on two wheels, get out in the sun, get out there with the people you love, and do it. Think about the people that you love the most. How's it going to affect them if you're happy all the time doing the things you love to do? And what kind of example is it going to set for them? And how is it going to positively impact those people that you care about the most? So if you wake up tomorrow morning and you're breathing, get out there and send it. Thanks for watching, and God bless America.